I am super excited today, folks, because there is a live-action Dungeons & Dragons trailer that has dropped a few hours ago. My good buddy, my partner in crime, Sam, told me about it, so I'm sat here in front of my monitor about to give you a review. I've got my coffee in my hand, got the sugar rush coming on. Now, I thought I'd go back down memory lane before we do a reaction to the new live-action version for D&D, because they had they made an earlier film, didn't they, with Jeremy Irons and Damon Wayans? Was it Marlon Wayans? That's who I'm thinking of. Didn't go down too well, but you know what? I haven't actually watched that movie yet, and I just want to see how bad it was and what they could have done, how they squandered it. But before we go down to that trailer, let's go down memory lane to 1983 and let's just remember the characters as we knew them. This is what I grew up with Dungeons & Dragons. I had no idea about the board game, nothing. This is what I grew up with.
Dungeons & Dragons ride! Wow, neat!
Give me a break.
Eric the Mona. Eric the Barbarian!
Fear not, Ranger. Barbarian, Magician, Thief, Cavalier, and Acrobat.
Venger!
That was Venger, the force of evil. I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, not gonna lie, guys, getting the old shivers down my spine as I see that intro again. Wow, I haven't watched that for ages, you know. I've got to watch the cartoons again. I remember at the time people were talking about how violent it was, but you got to remember it's in a fantasy setting, so it makes sense. Well, what do you expect our heroes to do? Just walk around like nothing's happening? But I know there was meant to be an unfinished finale, didn't get anywhere, and apparently it's a bit like Quantum Leap many years later, where the characters had a decision about whether they want to stay in the fantasy realm or just go back home. So that was really cool. I don't know why we never saw it. And of course, a Japanese animation company, I think they're called Toei. They're the ones who made these episodes. So if you want to see early Japanese animation, man, in Hollywood, that's the place to go. But let's just go on over to this. So 54,000 upvotes and only 2,900 downvotes. So that's pretty good, actually. I just want to read what the comments say here very quickly. So this looks way better than I was expecting. Looks pretty fun, to be honest. This is genuinely good D&D energy. The Dungeon Master is trying his hardest to tell a serious story, but the players are having none of that. Okay, look, I'm not a D&D player. I'm only familiar with the animated series, like I've said. I will say this much, Hugh Grant is in this film. I'm a big Hugh Grant fan anyway. And I have a funny feeling he will be playing Venger. That's who I think he should be playing. And it looks like they got the characters pretty spot on for the most part. I'm guessing Michelle Rodriguez is playing Diana or somebody else, but she's got acrobatic skills, so that'll be fine. Sheila the Thief is in the background. Oh my gosh, folks, a Caucasian redhead. What a big shocker. And I'm assuming that that's Eric the Cavalier and Chris Pine is playing the main dude. I've forgotten the main dude's name. Is it Hank? Is that who I'm thinking of? Anyway, getting brain farts. Let's get on with this trailer. Chris Pine, you hunky devil, you.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge.
Oh, but Led Zeppelin. There's a copyright claim already.
Told, we help the wrong person steal the wrong thing. We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best.
You need
To give us a fighting chance. We're gonna
Wow.
need strength. You got this, right?
I know you don't.
We also need
Okay,
courage.
stop showing off Rodriguez. Let the guys have some action as well.
And you. What is that again? It's an owlbear.
Some of the special effects look a bit ropey here. I'm just assuming it's still in post-production.
Be warned. There is evil here.
I'm glad he's on our side.
This one's dangerous. But whatever happens, we'll be ready.
Dungeons and Dragons, honor among thieves.
What is it exactly that you bring to this?
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
you make plans that fail.
No,
He also plays the lute.
not relevant.
Hey, I tell you what.
You make plans that fail.
Yeah, she's cool, man. It's so cool just to see a red-headed female in anything these days. She looks great. If she's not playing Sheila the Thief, I will be shocked. They probably have mentioned that in the trailer, but I just didn't see that. Now, the one thing I'm going to say, folks, is the title, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. That's the game that I think of. That's the game I always go back to. I love that game. I like all the 3 Uncharted games. So when I saw this title kind of threw me off a little bit, but you know what? I'm getting used to it already. It's fine. I tell you what, this is a cosplayer's wet dream because seriously, some of the costumes here look fantastic. If I just go back to this moment here, oh my gosh, this part here really, let's just play this out.
What is it exactly that you bring to this?
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so
If the existing
Yeah, this part here, all of this looks fantastic. Justice Smith on the right-hand side, he looks uncharacteristically quiet. He's normally the guy in the first Jurassic movie with Chris Pratt where he's just running and screeching a lot, and here he's a bit more reserved. I kind of like that, but honestly, this is kind of shaping up to be, I didn't think it would be this good if I got to be honest. Now, if we just go on over to IMDb, so they can have a look at the credits. So, directed by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. Okay, now I don't know what these guys' credentials are. We can have a quick look and have a see what they've done. Okay, so he's been an actor. He's directed episodes of Bones. He was a writer on the first Tom Holland Spider-Man. So yeah, there's some credits there. That's fair enough. And Jonathan Goldstein, I recognize the name. I just can't think where oh no, not the I don't want to see the Flash. Oh God, why is that popped up all of a sudden? Okay, so he directed Game Night with Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams. I really do like that film. Now, I guess, folks, from the credentials I briefly looked at, I think we might be in good hands. But let's just go back to this trailer very quickly because, yeah, I like this trailer a lot. I mean, apart from the copyrighted song, but it kind of, I don't know if it actually makes sense to use it in terms of a Dungeons and Dragons themed film, whatever, I don't know. I don't know if this is CGI, if it was actually shot in Iceland somewhere. In fact, again, why don't we just go back to where they shot this film? Let's have a look. Should tell us something. Let me have a look. Oh, Belfast and Northern Ireland. That would probably explain why it looks so spectacular. I guess the one thing I have to agree with the comments here as well, they seem to be taking it a lot more seriously. Again, I need to watch the Marlon Wayans and Jeremy Irons film, because I think Jeremy Irons was Venger in that, wasn't he? So, but it does look good. Oh, there's Hugh Grant right there on the left. I was hoping he would be Venger. Maybe that's something they're saving for last. I don't know. You know, I because he was a villain. He was villainous, I guess, in The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie. He's playing a totally out of character Hugh Grant. But you know what? Yeah, I think the only thing as well, some of the special effects need to be polished. It looks a little bit rough around the edges, but honestly, I've got to say, if Paramount knocked this one out of the park, I mean, their biggest film this year is Top Gun Maverick, a sequel 36 years later, and it's like made what, 1.2 billion at the box office already. Isn't that insane? Could Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves accomplish a similar feat? There's a big fan base out there for D&D, so they've got to get it right, and I'm assuming the directors behind this film are big fans of D&D. So we'll have to wait and see, folks, won't we? So if you enjoyed my quick reaction today to this trailer starring Chris Pine and Justice Smith and Hugh Grant, please give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and if I were you, I would check me out on the next video.
In the ass end of space, even aliens watch Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog. Duke Nukem approves this guy.